Actually, Stu told me about that. You have to write
But
it.
I think we put a pretty
Okay,
picture.
we are ready to go. Can we call the meeting to order? I need everyone to stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, can we get a roll call, please, Russ?
Brandon Earl.
Here.
Andrea Kreifel.
Here.
Jason Newberry.
Here.
Jessica Seeliger.
Here.
Robert White. Here. Jim Yates. Here. Pat Zika.
Okay, next up, recognition of patrons and staff.
Nothing this evening.
Okay.
Remember last time?
Oh, I'm sorry. We need to adopt the agenda first.
Move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Okay, we have a motion. Get a second?
Second.
Got a second?
If I wanna add an executive session, do I do that now? Or just when we talk about executive sessions?
We have one for everything, if you wanna add time.
Just add time for one.
Let me
Okay,
We have non-elected negotiations.
okay,
Is it one of those?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, so be sure.
Okay, so we have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same? Okay, now recognition of patrons and staff.
Nobody this evening.
Okay, first up, discussion items, education spotlight, WMS Knights Closet.
Yes, so Josie Schwartz is here with her students, and they're gonna talk about Knight's Closet. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us. I'm Desi Schwartz, and I teach 8th grade career and life planning. And this year, what we are starting at the middle school is a student-ran spirit store. It's still brand new, still in the works. We're gonna kind of go through it, but I'm gonna let these guys introduce themselves first.
My name's Olivia Davis. I'm Allie Meeker.
I'm Waylon Harris.
I'm Branson Elder.
I'm Andrew Ibarra. So the Knight's Closet, it's been in the works for the last 3 years. Mr. Meyer and I have been talking about it over time, kind of what we want to do with it, how we want it to be ran. My main focus was I want the kids to be involved 95% of the business. I want them to create the logos and the graphics that go on the shirts. We want to open it up to sports teams to have them ask us to design the shirts or let the kids design them. Then the goal for basketball season is to have them open the store to sell the shirts out of like my classroom, since my classroom's right there by the gym. Most of the profits are gonna go straight back into our fundraising account, which that money is used to give these kiddos more incentives at the middle school, and do more fun things with them. It started last year with our staff shirts. This shirt was designed by an 8th grader last year. So she designed the front. The back, we have a knight on the back, and that is the knight that Mr. Meyer and I chose this summer to adopt as the main knight now that we use here at the middle school. The designs that we have right now, this is what has started this summer. They are in black up here, but when you start creating your images, they're in black, but we have changed the colors to red, gray, and white. So all of these emblems on shirts will be either red, gray, or white. When we had our open house, we had pre-order forms that parents could purchase shirts. We had a good turnout for that. Students right now are working on designing choir, band, and scholars bowl shirts. Those are the 3 groups we've been asked for right now. So slow process. They haven't really given us a deadline, which allows me to teach more graphic design with the kids and get more involved with Canva for them. These are some of the shirts that we have pressed already in the classroom. We do offer on the back to have it customized for an extra $5. Right now our t-shirts are $20. We're gonna start pricing for long sleeve and sweatshirts since colder weather's coming up. So we're gonna kind of talk about that as classes, so they can kind of understand the pricing standpoint and maybe understand why when you buy a sweatshirt you have to pay $50 for a sweatshirt. Here are some pictures. I will let the kids talk to you about the process that they kind of go through as they are actively pressing the shirts.
So first, you'll put the shirt in to make sure it's all lined up, and then you'll use one of the stencils to make sure it's even. Then you'll put the logo down on it, and then you'll press it down for about 15 seconds, and you'll let it go the whole 15. Then you'll lift it up, and you'll take off the white part of the stencil, and you'll put this piece of parchment paper on and let that press for 5 seconds, and then you'll lift it up, and your shirt is done.
So a lot of what the students have done so far this year is actually pressing those shirts since we're still learning the graphic design. They did make a shirt for all of you today. Oh my gosh. Do you see their name tags? Oh yeah, I wrote it on there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
That's cool.
So those are just for you guys. So it's been a slow start, but our goal is to kick it up a notch and design more. They're gonna start designing some basketball and wrestling shirts since we're going into those seasons. These shirts that we have here, they're still available, especially the cheer ones, for those parents that if they want them. That's what we have for today. Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you for the gray, silver, gray, white, and red.
Yes.
Did you notice that the thing for okay, the other night at the football game, the announcer said that we've been gray, silver, red, and white for 1,000 years. So I'm not the only crazy one that exists on no black.
Mrs. Schwartz, will this class still do the end of year job interviews?
Yes.
Can you tell the board about that? Because I know, just a little bit, I know I'm putting you on the spot.
No, you're fine.
I mean, I know Desi personally, so I've been doing this for a couple years now, and it is so much fun, and you get to know so much about our kids, so if you could tell them, in case anybody else would wanna make time to do it.
So these
Just okay.
kids, in my career and life planning class at the end of each semester, they go through an interview process. We learn about everything that involves with interviews, and to cap that project, they sit through interviews with administration at the middle school, and I have brought in Jessica Seeliger to do those. I've tried to have the SRO, but she always gets called out, so we tried, but we have backup plans. But they sit through an entire interview, and all of their questions that are asked, they have to talk about themselves in a positive outlook. So it's not your typical, what job are you applying for? Why do you want to apply for this job? It's more, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? How can you overcome those weaknesses? What's an accomplishment that you've overcome? But these kids will sit through them. In the past, I have had students tell me they don't like me the day of the interview, and then they leave the interview and they're like, okay, that was worth it, and now I'm not as nervous. But the point is for them to be a little nervous before it, so hopefully when they go to the real interview, they're not as nervous.
It's so much fun, if you guys have a chance to sit in on those, they're great.
They're fun.
Anyone else have any questions for them? Good job. You guys did a nice job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good job, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, bond issue update.
Yes, so nothing in particular here. This is the last board meeting that we have prior to the election. And so Brett was not able to be here tonight, but Miranda is here. And so literally, if the board has any questions or needs to discuss anything, just want to put this on the agenda for a final time in case anything needed to be discussed. We have done 5 community meetings now, and we have one more at the high school this week at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. And so welcome anyone from the community who wants to come and hear about it. And so it's kind of open to the board, nothing in particular. So.
Anyone have any questions?
I do. I've just seen a lot on social media, and just to put it out there and clarify for everybody, The 2014 bond had language about replacing roofs at some of the buildings. If we can just speak to that.
Okay, so what we've been trying to say and try to get across in the meetings is that there was probably work done during that bond. The purpose of this, when it comes to HVAC, roofs, all those types of things, is to extend the life of the buildings, not to that everything is falling apart. The two things that are a big issue as far as HVAC, regardless of when they got put in, are the Eisenhower and Kennedy's VRF. The old VRF cassette systems are not in good shape. They have been struggling big time. I don't know if it's a system thing or what it is, but it's a struggle. And so those principals can tell you what they deal with every day. I know that Fort Scott is a school district that went away from that system because they had so much trouble with it. And we actually, because we have HVAC people working for us, which has been an attempt by the district to save money in that way, instead of calling people out of Wichita all the time. They went down and picked up some of their old systems while we still have it in place so that they can use parts on those to try to make it happen. So we believe that there was roof work done in the last bond issue. I don't have the specifics on that.
Sure.
Roof work done probably in the bond issue prior to that when the high school was built. But what the district is trying to do now is extend the lives of the roof past this particular bond so that we're sustainable for the next 30 years as far as the warranty on the material on the roof. So and Miranda, you can tell me to be quiet anytime, but what they will do if the bond passes is they will go around and they will take core samples of different parts of the roofs across the entire district. What we do know, the high school roof is original. And then they will go in to determine how they are going to put that membrane over the top. Okay. You're good. You're like, get out of my way.
No, you're fine. Like you said, we're gonna go in and address each building. We're gonna do core samples. It'll tell us how the insulation is inside those buildings, what the decking is looking like in different areas, whether it's rotten or in good condition. And then the roof itself. And there's a few of them that they've already been up on that they just know are gonna need full replacements. And there's a few of them that they've seen could be patched. But what we're gonna do is with those core samples, then we can go and determine what each building needs at what level. Go in, tear off, put down new decking if it needs it. If it doesn't, we'll go over the top of it with something called coverboard and then this new TPO roofing. And the TPO roofing material has a 30-year warranty from the manufacturer, not the installer. So if in 5 years from now, the installer is no longer an installer around this area, it doesn't matter. The manufacturer warranty is what is held. And so this roofing material and the installation at each building will last the length of this bond. And so that's a main reason why we're going back into every building and every roof. And it won't be replacing every roof. There are going to be some patches and repairs as opposed to full tear-offs for buildings. But there will be some buildings that have full tear-offs. So.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
So we really don't know though right now what we're gonna do to the roofs. I mean, if you're not gonna check it till after.
So we have budgeted enough money in the bond to be able to go in and replace the majority of the roofs. Some of them we know just need repaired, and so those budgets reflect that. But once we go in there, we don't want to go in and say we budgeted $2 million on this roof and we're going to tear it all off if it doesn't need to be torn off. We can actually just overlay it for $1 million and then we have $1 million to place somewhere else within that bond project. So until the bond passes, it doesn't do us or you guys much good to go in and core. We will do that after the bond passes. If it does not pass, we have to figure out what roofs we're doing. We can core at that time too. And so we're just kind of waiting to see what goes on, core the roofs, and then we can decide which roofs need repaired, which need replaced, how those monies came about, and then any extra money gets offset back into the project for other expenses.
Okay.
So
I like Andre, I've heard that a lot, and a lot of people are saying new roofs everywhere. Why do you need new roofs everywhere? And And when you hear that, so I'm sure then you're addressing that at these
Yeah.
meetings.
New in the sense that all the roofs will have new TPO, but it doesn't mean that they all were just completely
Yeah.
torn off. Some of them will just be covered up, and that cost about half of what it would cost to tear off and redo a new one. So
Another problem that I hear is,
This is Jim. You mentioned that there's been 2 schools identified that they would be replaced, fully replaced. What
Four-
schools were those?
Lincoln and the high school, are those correct? What you and Brett?
I know they said Lincoln is.
Yeah, Lincoln has a mod bit with a bunch of gravel on the top of it, and it's just failing in quite a few places, and so Lincoln is a full replacement. I don't recall off the top of my head. Brett went through a few weeks ago and walked all the roofs, and they outlined that Lincoln is for sure one that will need to be fully replaced, but I can't recall what other building he said look like need to be fully replaced, but that's why we'll do the core samples, is to make sure that not us determining it visually, but the cores will tell us exactly what roofs and to what extent.
Thank you.
oh, and they're saying, which I know it's crazy, but that, how do we all, they're like, how do I put this? Why don't we use like local people, because we already know, we're saying that this is gonna cost this and this is gonna cost this. But I've asked the question myself, and of course the answer is, when we find out if we get the bond issue, then we put it out for bid.
Correct.
There's a misunderstanding, I think, that people think this has been bidded and this is the price. You know, I had that question myself, but I got the answer, and so that's a misconception out there.
Yep, so
That we've already
the
put it out to bid.
DCS is the construction manager that you all elected to hire to help come up with budget numbers. So they're just budget numbers. Some of them might have came from a roofer being on the roof to look at it and say, this is gonna cost roughly this amount. Windows, they had someone come down and take a look at the cafeteria windows in the middle school. It's gonna cost roughly this amount. They're budget numbers, but because of the state requirements for bidding, you have to put it out for public bid. And so we have to get somewhere to be able to know what these costs are going to be and be close to accurate. So we do bring in licensed professionals and engineers and local and Wichita, people and contractors to kind of help get those numbers budgeted. But then once the bond passes, you then design it with your drawings for permitting and bidding process. And so it'll be opened up to anyone local that can and wants to bid on it.
I mean, I just think that's a misconception out there too. If there's a way to say that out there right now, I don't know what it would be, but it hasn't this hasn't been put out for bid yet.
Yep.
Just say that, I guess, I don't know. But that is a misconception, I think. Thanks.
Guess I would caution a little bit on the manufacturer warranty on the membrane. That's what we thought we had at the high school with Goodyear, and it was installed improperly, so therefore they voided the warranty.
Yeah, so the roofing, that's what the roofing, we are looking at a TPO gonna be by Carlisle or because I'm trying to tell you, I can't think of the other manufacturer that's widely known.
Firestone?
But, I'm sorry?
Firestone?
Firestone and Carlisle. Those two, we will do what's called basis of design. So we're designing off of those because what those products have is the installers have to be approved installers from the manufacturer. The manufacturer then warranties the install and the product. And so the warranty is held at the manufacturer level as opposed to the installer level. And so as long as you specify the product properly, you can avoid improper installation issues.
I think it's important to point out that's a reason why we have DCS, is because they're the professionals. Back when the high school was built, we didn't need a company like DCS. Now we are required by state statute to have a company like them.
Yep.
To avoid what happened in high school.
Okay, anyone else have any questions?
I thought it was really neat to see all the high school kids out the other day.
Absolutely.
I don't know whose idea that was, but it's a great idea.
Miranda, thank you.
No problem, thank you.
Thank you, thanks for being here.
Okay, next up, Bound platform.
Yes. Kelly,
Oh,
you
that's
are
me.
up.
This is simply informational. The website that we use for our scheduling and contracts for the middle school and high school got bought out. And so both leagues have now moved to this Bound platform. And it does exactly what the other website did. So the avctl.org and the patriotleague.org is not always user friendly. And they got bought out by a company called Arbiter, and it's just been kind of unknown. So the league went and kind of had to seek out another scheduling platform, and we landed on this Bound one. The reason I wanted to talk to you guys about it is it also does a lot more things for us. For example, we can do physicals online, so parents can upload physicals. It's all done by photo. We still have to check it to make sure like you guys sign it. But there's no more, they don't have to bring it into our office. They just upload it onto the app. You register one time starting 7th grade, and then it rolls over every year, and you just have to upload your physical every single year, and we just make sure everything's done there. They also do digital ticketing, which is really kind of cool. So the platform there that the league went with is the Bound Pro Cashless, and Bound as a company told the AVCTL and the Patriot League, because you'll see some things on there like you have to use digital ticketing only, and they said we're not going to really hold you to that because we want you as a league. They would do that if we just went in individually as a school. But so digital ticketing will give us an opportunity to sell digital tickets as well as take card at our gates, starting all the way from middle school up until high school, as well as still have the cash option. So this Bound really kind of does a lot more things. It kind of gets us up to speed with some of the things. The physical piece, the registration piece is something that I know my secretary is really, really excited for. Because she can just make a phone call and say, hey, you forgot to sign this, can you sign it, and upload it to the app, and then that's done. And then there's no more, can we trust the kid to take it home, to have you sign it, to bring it back, and then 9 times out of 10 it gets lost. So as far as my end goes, nothing changes, the scheduling. The other nice piece is it'll all be under a district page, so the middle school, high school schedules will all be in one app. And so you can buy your tickets in that app, you can see your schedule in that app, you can upload your physical in that app, it's all there. But both leagues went to it, so I just kind of wanted to throw it out there and let you guys know so it's not a huge surprise. And that'll be starting next year, we're gonna kind of slow roll it. This year is, I'm still waiting on some information from them, but.
So next fall.
Will be when it starts. Yeah, and I'll put out some stuff. It's not just gonna hit you all in the face, but
Can you use cards at concession stand?
that's a possibility through this.
I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, you would just have to get another reader, which we would just buy through Bound, and then yeah, you can do it that way too.
Kelly, what about buying season passes? Will those be through Bound too, or those?
You can. Obviously, with digital ticketing comes a convenience fee. With just a single ticket to get into a game, I think it's like 90 something cents, which we would have to figure out how that's going to look, and I don't know the answer for that right now. But the season passes, you can put that on there, but the convenience fee grows because the price grows in what you're paying. So it's a possibility. We'll have to figure out what that convenience fee looks like. I forgot.
So students and families can still buy passes?
Yeah, we can.
They buy it online through the.
We can do it both ways. We will probably wait on that until we really figure out how this works, but we'll probably keep our passes the same. And then once we figure out that system, then we can throw it on there. Yep. Yeah.
Anyone have any questions? Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Next up, enrollment numbers.
Yes, so our September 20th enrollment dates have come and gone, and so I wanted to give you final enrollment. Continue to enroll classes of around 90 students, which has gone for several years now, and so that seems to be our new trend. That's been happening for the last 5 or 6 years, and so I wanted to put all of that in front of you so that you saw the trend continue, which obviously goes into some of the other discussions that we are having as far as the structure of the district and how that needs to be continue on, which the board has a future work session set up to continue that discussion. And so just wanted to get those in front of you so that you had the current updated numbers.
Can you also, because you were at the conference, people listening in, that this is not just a Wellington issue?
Oh, yes, sure, yeah, so on Friday and Saturday, I was in Kansas City with the Kansas and Missouri superintendents, and yeah, every table you sit at, there's people dealing with the same thing, with the last 5 or 6 years with classes enrolling much lower, with since COVID increased homeschool, with the birth rate being lower, and so that's all coming in, so everybody is seeing this. This is not Wellington. It's not special in this area, and so there's a lot of discussions in a lot of different districts about how things can be restructured to try to fit new class sizes. So
I did ask Chad, but I waited kind of late for the enrollment by school, by grade.
Mhm.
And so, but I asked kind of late and we didn't have it yet.
Yeah, Peggy all that stuff was just due last Friday, and so Peggy was working on it today. She just didn't have a chance to get it all the way done, to have it by building for you, but she thought she'd have it tomorrow, and so Mr. Redfield said he'd
yeah, we can send it out to the board.
Something that
Yep.
you need to.
Anyone else have any questions? Okay, next up, student transportation vehicles.
All right, Kelly, you're up, sir.
Yeah, I believe in your package you have from Shawnee Mission Ford. This is a state bidding, and one of the issues that all school districts, not just in Kansas, but all across the United States, is running into is a lot of the companies, Ford, Chevy, and so forth, have stopped making 10-passenger vans, which is the max that you can have for student transportation. You can't buy a 12-passenger one and take 2 seats out. It has to be specifically built for 10 passengers. So what a lot of states or districts are doing is going through the state bidding process, and they can go and build this one for a 10-passenger van, and that is in your package. And just kind of give you an idea, we have gone a couple years without purchasing a vehicle, and some of our student vans are racking up some mileage. One of the first ones, Transits that we bought in 2019, it's getting pretty close to 100,000 miles already. Those vans are constantly being checked out, and Ellie is one of our main schedulers of that, and she can probably tell you all the headaches that she runs into with them being reserved and not enough vehicles around. So this is just information for you to look at and for discussion, I believe, correct? Any questions from me?
We sell our old vans.
What our plan is right now is some of our maintenance vehicles are in pretty bad shape. One of them, they've got a Band-Aid on a transmission that they constantly just keep putting them together. So our plan is, Mike said he would be willing to take one of the Suburbans if we pass it down. It has 130,000 miles on it already. So we would just pass that down. We would keep the Suburbans, and then some of those maintenance vehicles would be the ones that we would sell or auction.
How many Suburbans do we have and how many do they
We have
hold?
2 Suburbans, 4 vans, I guess I can get you the list, and 2 just passenger vehicles.
How many does a Suburban hold?
7 to 8.
What year are those?
17, both of them, 2017s. So we have 2 2019 Ford Transits, 2020 and a 2022. And like I said, that first one that, I believe Adam purchased, in 2019 already has 91,395 miles on it. So.
You just wanted to get vans, not replace Suburbans?
Yeah. Just because of the holding 3 extra students.
Sure.
My 22 has 85,000.
Kelly, have you looked into leasing at all?
We have not looked into that.
Could you look into that for me?
Yeah, we can do that.
I know a lot of government entities went to lease purchase.
Okay.
And it kind of keeps a good rotation of vehicles, so we keep good, safe vehicles out there for everybody to drive and keeps you on a little bit more current
Yep,
vehicles.
we can do that.
I'll have to pass that through the auditor though, because they don't like lease purchase. There's some restrictions there, but we'll look at it.
So you can't get, you can't, really can't get 10, I'm not questioning you, I'm just, can you not get
newer
10 passenger
ones.
anymore?
No, you can go and get like a 2020
Yeah,
or
used one or
22,
something,
but they're gonna have
so-
70,000 miles on it already.
So you get 12, no, they're moving to 12 passenger?
That's all that they're building right now.
That's all they're building.
is 12, and federal law only
You
allows
get
for
10 in
10.
a car, yeah.
So we're talking about, just to recap, we're talking about getting rid of passing down 1 or 2 Suburbans.
Probably
What-
one. They
just
still
one
need
and then
They
buying
still
one
need
van?
one for like to haul the trailer that the football team or the band
Okay.
takes to load up equipment.
And then all vans replaced? So 4
Try to get, a
or
van.
5, actually, if you had a Suburban, take Suburban out.
Mhm.
So wait, how many?
So you wanna add
How many
one
are we
more
talking about buying?
One
As
more
many as
van,
you want.
but one more passenger.
Ellie would love to have, we'd love to have 2.
Yeah.
Because we have gone a couple years without replacing
So
additional.
what exactly, I don't know how to ask this, to be clear. When I personally think of the vans, I'm thinking like smaller sporting events. What all are we using them for? I guess, are we using those for,
We just had this discussion in BAM the other day, building admin, sorry. So it's happening all over the place. Actually, it is, as some of our class sizes have gone down, I think our teachers are using them more and more for field trips other than buses. So that kind of gets them clogged up with athletics going on at the same time.
that's what I'm wondering, if we don't need to do something to move some of those things to buses to free them up.
Yeah, it's just buses are really expensive to add trips because those aren't original contract buses, so you have to add.
How much is it per trip?
It's
I
pretty
remember what
close
it
to,
used to be, but.
yeah, it's pretty close to $500.
Oh,
Everything's double.
I was gonna say, I was still thinking,
I can tell you that.
back in my PTA days, it was something like $200, so.
I can tell you the Transit, we bought in 2019 first, which we were really proud of, was $26,000. It's now $52,000.
Maybe we should buy a couple 12s. Maybe we should buy 12.
We can't
We
take.
can't take
two.
12.
Oh, that's right.
Federal law.
So.
Well, then the law is way behind times. Somebody needs to go change that law. Want me to?
The bus
Kelly,
trip,
could you do that if they had CDL drivers? Is that the hang up?
I looked that up the other day, and it has something to do with the wheelbase and all that, and how wide it is when they require you to have a CDL. And it's weird, you can have a white school bus, but not a yellow one, then you need a CDL for a yellow one. There's a bunch of funky laws in there.
Are you talking like a mini school bus?
Yeah,
If it's white, you don't have to.
so yeah, it's weird.
That's a lot to think about.
Let's buy 225s. I mean, there's an option to buy a 25.
Oh, I thought you meant
instead of
25
26.
seater.
No,
I'm making a joke,
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
you get a 25 instead of a 26 and then with 0 miles.
Something.
What?
So the problem is that they have to build it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to
You have
order it
to-
and build it, cause they're not
But
available.
it
They
did
don't-
just start in 26?
Ford and Chevy and them aren't just mass
Okay, I guess my
making them.
question, when did that start?
About 2 years ago.
Okay.
But if
That's
you
probably
buy
the
a
problem we're gonna
24,
run
you're
into
gonna have
with
to buy
the
it with
lease, too.
60,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
I got a follow-up question. Is there a scheduling conflict with only two vans, between, sports, athletics, and in classrooms for field trips? Is that causing an issue?
Yeah.
Yes,
sometimes.
yeah,
Yes,
we
it
are,
does.
So does two vans address that, or it's combination? Someone said we're in a school bus and maybe fundraisers or something.
yeah.
I mean, what's the solution? Sounds like you're still being a complex.
Yeah, admin just started discussing this recently, just because we're seeing more teacher field trip use, and so I don't know that we necessarily finished that discussion. We're needing two vehicles just to keep our fleet up and going and safe, and like Kelly said, pass one of those down to maintenance. So we would end up, if we kept one in the rotation for students, one of the Suburbans, and pass one down, then you would end up with one additional vehicle out in the fleet, because one of the Suburbans would keep going and one of the Suburbans would be passed to maintenance, and we would get rid of a maintenance vehicle. So it would help.
That's a plus then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's helpful.
Yeah.
When there was half day kindergarten, and we just used a little minibus to go pick everybody up. Just come in my driveway.
All right, any other questions?
I just for FYI, and just kind of a reminder, I brought up about buses and how they had to take the kids and come back, and so we were gonna, just kind of keep that in the back of our minds if we can fix that problem. So they don't get out of school so early and.
So two is, $100,000-ish out of capital outlay. Obviously capital outlay is a weird thing to talk about right now with the bond issue out there. When considering that if you did just the high school roof, you'd wipe out your entire capital outlay budget. So it's one of those things. We just want you to be aware. We can bring it back to you next month, so that you have some time to think about, so it's the first time you've gotten it. But wanted to make sure you knew where our vehicle fleet was at, and just making sure we keep kids safe and in a good spot, so.
How long, since it's an order, how long does it take to get them? Do we have any idea?
He did not answer that, he just said I could order as many 2026s as school wanted to do. I can get that answered tomorrow for you.
Okay, thank you.
And just so we make sure we're not leaving local out. Through the state program, you can get them cheaper than
Yeah,
Rayburn.
this is a state bid.
Yeah.
It's the only way we can get
Yeah, I
10
just
seater,
wanna
right?
make that clear, that if we could get it local, that would be something we would do.
Which
But
we've done
since
in the
through the
past.
state, I just wanna make that known, cause that'll, that's what we should do if we could, but we can't.
Yeah, Jeff Raber has helped us out a lot
Yeah.
with the ones we bought up to this
Yeah.
point. So.
I just wanna make that clear to the public.
Anything else? Okay, let's move on. Elementary physical education.
Yes, Chad.
Yep. So last year I brought a draft of a curriculum adoption schedule to you in February. On there was elementary PE. So we've been having some conversations. Mr. Foley started with us this year at the beginning of the year back in the district, and it's doing an incredible job. If you ever want to see him dance with kids in PE, it's very fun. But they shared that the curriculums they had was from several years and years and years ago, and they would like to have an update. They've been piloting Quaver, PE and health curriculum. They have had that for a good portion of the school year so far and have just been trying lessons. It is the same company that we asked and you guys approved for elementary music. So we'd like to do the same process that we did last year for music, this year for PE, where we purchased the licensing for the rest of this school year so that they can continue to, because that pilot goes away. It's only a certain amount of days. And so we're at the end of that pilot now. And so the teachers, when we had professional learning at the end of September, said, hey, we'd really like to move forward with this if you could take it to the board. So what they would like is what we did with elementary music, to have it just for the rest of this year. And then at the end of the year, if it's something that they really see the value in, they would like to have a multi-year purchase.
So this quote at 1,800 is for the rest of the year or
For the rest of the year. Rest of the year per teacher. So with just the two teachers per. So this is $300 per grade level. We do get a discount for the multi-year pricing. But because we're not 100% sure, because they're still just going through the pieces.
Oh, is the president's physical fitness test included? I didn't see that.
That I don't know.
There is a, what do you call that, when you sign the big book?
Executive order.
Executive order was made that schools do the.
I know
President's
Mr.
physical
Bowling's
fitness
doing it independently. I don't know if it's part of Quaver, but he's doing it.
The old one?
He's doing all the different pieces to the president's fitness test. I don't know if he's doing the online where you input all the numbers and send it off, but.
I just,
Oh,
kind of being smart aleck and kind of just asking.
Yeah. I don't know if it's included in the curriculum or not.
So we're comfortable making a motion on this, or you guys wanna?
So they know they need the rest of the year to figure it out?
They would like,
Okay.
that, just as the music teachers did last year. If you talk to, especially Mr. Rhodes, about the Quaver elementary music curriculum, he is loving that. And, because we purchased, the package we purchased last year for them, included also the student use, so he's been able to figure out how to push activities to the student devices for music, so they can start creating on their own, and so it's been very interactive.
So cool. It's like GarageBand. Like they can like create their own music and guitar and
Let's
keyboard.
have him next month.
That's pretty cool.
Well, they've just started the students, so I don't know that he would be ready quite yet, but he has talked to me about a couple of units that he has planned, so I'm excited to have him continue with that.
So moved.
Second.
Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, you got it correct. That's just like I taught you.
I know, thank you.
We got a motion and we got a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same.
Thank you very much.
Okay, middle school ELA curriculum.
Yes, so we had a book challenge come in from a parent. Our 8th graders in ELA were reading a book and received we had several parents that want their child to stop being a part of that. And so those children were offered an alternative assignment, and most of them took that. And so then that went to our board policy, which you have, in which that parent did go through the correct process and talking to teacher and talking to the principal. And then that moved on to the book challenge paperwork being filled out, which you had emailed to you this weekend. And then that goes to superintendent for review, and so I sent that to the parent and then also to you guys this weekend as well. And it expresses, to sum it up, expresses that I think the district did a good job of being reactive in this situation. I do not think the district did a good job of being proactive with parents in this situation. Parents should have been reached out to ahead of time and had this information and had an opportunity to look through this before their child was exposed to this. And so I put all that in my report to you. And so at this point, you have that information from me, you have that information from the parent. Essentially, it becomes, the reason I brought it to the board and the parent did not have to bring it to the board is I had enough board members reach out to me that were interested in this topic that I knew it was going to be a topic at the board meeting no matter what. So why not get it on here and get it going? So, and so essentially at this time, the board has some options on removing the book from the curriculum, keeping the book in the curriculum with parental consent being available in the future if this is something that stays in the curriculum. And then also within your policy, there's an opportunity to create a review committee. So you have educators that read the book thoroughly and then give you a report on what they found for you to guide you further in your thinking on this, since obviously this is new to the board. So all of that is out there, and I've given you all the information, and so it's kind of up for discussion on how the board wants to move forward.
You said you would give us your opinion, and I didn't understand it. in your reply?
My
I didn't see your decision.
My decision was in there at the bottom. My opinion for what I would want, for, and like I put in there, I'm one person, and I recommended to the board that you put together the review committee. To me, there's two trains of thought. There is, and neither person is wrong in this. It's all opinion based. There is the thought process of the themes and language and some of the things that the author puts into this book to try to make the main character and the setting of the novel is parents can disagree and not want their child exposed to this at all, and that is a choice that a parent should be able to make ahead of time. There's also the opportunity within some of the themes in the book that students are going to be exposed to at some point in life. And so the other flip side of that argument is if parents do consent to that, then they have the opportunity for their child to go through some of those themes where they are talking to them at home, if we would have been proactive. And also they are discussing that with their teacher in class, if that is done correctly. And so I put in there that I thought that it was okay to keep the book in the curriculum if the parents were given the material ahead of time, the curriculum ahead of time, the opportunity to review it, and that they gave consent for their child to be a part of it. And then if that were the case, then they would move forward in being a part of that, but they also would not have to be if they chose not to. That's the biggest piece because it's so opinion based. For my child, because I'm one opinion, I would want to be able to make the choice on the material and what I wanted them to be able to expose to, so that I could have conversations with them at home, and so that I could choose whether I wanted that to be something that they work on with their teacher in the classroom. I would want to be able to see the novel ahead of time. I would want to be able to see the curriculum ahead of time, which our parents did not get this time. And so I think with all that in place, I think it would be okay to leave it. But then I recommended to the board for you to put together a review committee, because I'm one opinion and we have lots of great educators that work for us. And so a review committee giving you guys guidance is, I think, the best way to go. That was to sum it up.
The problem I see with that is you'll give the parents these choices, which they're great choices, but they're not gonna take the time, or they're not gonna follow through on all of it. They're gonna think a lot of them, it's school, it's curriculum, so why would I want to get my kid out of it? And I personally don't think we would need another committee when we have 6, 7 people right here that have been parents and our parents that have a pretty good idea of what they would. It talks, if it has to say at the bottom of it, I printed the wrong thing. At the bottom of the study guide, it says this contains sexual. Anybody know what it says? All these things at the bottom of it. If you have to have a warning for your child that's going to read that about sexual, I'm trying to say.
Sexual assault.
It's about sexual assault. It talks about sexual things. It talks about discrimination, black and white people. It talks about a range of things, and there's a warning at the bottom of the study guide. And if my 13-year-old 8th grader, their material has to have a warning at the bottom of it. I would like to see us make a decision as a board instead of passing it on again to somebody else.
Can I ask a couple questions? The unit is complete for this year, correct?
Correct.
When I heard from a parent, one of the first things I did was look, our curriculum is actually up.
Yeah, so it's a little
Right?
confusing with ELA. The information that I got from the business office was that something expired in 26 and something expires in 27. That was what was on the purchase orders when, and then when I got the information from the company, it also says that, but it didn't say what, it just has a random product code. It didn't say what it was. So I did ask for clarity, which I got on Friday, that the middle school curriculum expires at the end of this year, high school expires at the end of next year. And so we would need to talk through what that looks like both with the teachers and with you all, in terms of how we re-up that. Because just like when we get discounts on Quaver for purchasing multi-year, when our purchasing, we have a little bit of purchasing power for discounts and things like that when we do a multi-year thing that is a little larger. So I think we need to talk about that as far as value and money.
Well, I 100% agree it needs to be discussed and reviewed. But my question is, we don't know, we're not 100% certain that we'll even have this curriculum or the book next year. Correct? So is this a discussion that is not about this curriculum necessarily, and it needs to be a discussion that we're having when we choose the next, to make sure that if this book would happen to be in the next one, then yes, we're having this very conversation? Or is it a different conversation that we're having where we're being more cognizant of the books that are being chosen in the next? And I mean, we may choose something that, we have a book that has a similar, a similar discussion needs to happen.
Great discussion needs in the book. It's really, great questions and all that. It's just the topics that it's in it that, and I'm
That's
assuming
just
they
where
like
I'm at with it.
studies.
I'm like, does the discussion need to
There's
be
mixed
about
opinions.
this book right now, or does the discussion need to be about the next curriculum and what books are in it?
If we're thinking about,
That's where I'm at with it.
if we're thinking about new curriculum, we need to get started. I mean, I don't know if, I haven't heard.
Oh, it's on the
people like
list. I talked to the building administrators on Wednesday about where we are sitting with adoptions. Right now, we're looking at math, which I hope you guys knew because we've been talking about that for a while. Elementary math in particular, and then secondary ELA is also in the conversation. We want to make sure that the feedback that I received when I got here from the teachers, because of everything that happened with Summit and how quickly things had to get replaced, the feedback that I've received is teachers have more time in a pilot, which is why I asked for the additional time with what you just approved, so that they have more time to look at it once we've done that. So our goal, like timeline wise, is 18 months for the start to finish with everything, because we just made that last spring. We're playing catch up a little bit. So.
Well, I guess I may be a little behind on my reading list, but I don't know about the rest of the board, but I haven't read every book that's in our curriculum. So, and I don't know that that's an expectation of the board.
No, I'm not.
So, I mean, I guess to Jessica's point, I don't know that it is a necessarily a curriculum issue. It is this book right now. I mean, that's the issue at hand right now, so.
Yeah, I agree that according to the policy, it's about this book, what we do with it. It's not about the curriculum at this point.
Well, I'll throw my 2 cents. I haven't read it either, but if we're getting this much backlash and we have to send home an approval for an 8th grader to read, is it really all necessary? I mean,
You can skip the story.
and I'm sure there's other books that can get out there and probably be just as beneficial. That's maybe not the stuff that's in this.
Yes.
It is kind of concerning when we had to send a discussion or a paperwork home to have our parents, us sign off for our kids to read it in the 8th grade level. Yeah, if it's high school, I kind of get on board. They're a little more mature, but it's a big topic. Not just here. I mean,
It talks about all the issues that we worry about. It talks about suicide. It talks about, rape, sexual assault. It talks about, everything that we worry about, racial discrimination.
Drugs.
Mary South, Mary. I know.
If you've never seen Wicked, you need to go see the play. Anyway.
since we're on this subject, have we looked at the upcoming books just to make sure something else isn't going to come through the pipeline? I don't want to be sitting here another 2 months having the same discussion. So have we looked at what's coming down to make sure there's nothing else that we have to look at if this is in there?
So how many years has this book been taught? Because I asked my son about it and he didn't remember it at first. And then we got into his Google Classroom and he learned it last year. except for he admitted to me that he was asleep during the class. He doesn't, that's why he doesn't remember the story. But, I mean, how many years have we had this period? Even if it's expiring, surely we bought it.
I think it was a 6-year adoption.
That's what, I mean, kids aren't gonna go tell my kids to read it, you know.
Yeah.
Kids, a group of boys, I mean, kids are gonna read it, they're not gonna run home and say, God, we talked about this in class.
But that particular book may or may not have been chosen last year.
So my understanding, and I haven't read everything either, my understanding is that in the curriculum, there's excerpts of it, but then there are options to do novel studies. And so within each unit, the teachers have some latitude to choose, and so that was the choice that was made.
Derby does it, just because my daughter-in-law just moved to 6th grade, so I was asking her about it, and they have study sync, and they that story's in there, but they just do, like you said, there's a shorter version where there's just excerpts, and they even do less of the excerpts, but they do like the conversation that's
Yeah, they're
the
supposed to have,
tools that they, you know, help try to have the student learn, but they stay away from all, I don't know how really, but that's what she said they do.
yeah, they're supposed to have comparative text so that they can look at different points of view and those types of things, depending on what the standards of the lesson are.
I would just like to make sure that if we're still using it next year, and we may just, some of us use Pilot, some of us not, whatever, how we do that, just to say that that will be skipped, whatever, however you want to say that, but.
Yeah, I'd like to see where we're at next year on it, because definitely something needs to be done if we're still teaching it next year.
So
I
let's
think
just do
we
it.
all agree on that.
They so moved, we are not gonna do that story in the 8th grade curriculum next year or years after if it is still in the study sync curriculum of 8th grade.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
I would second that motion.
So you're saying that the book should be removed then?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I read the whole
That's what
book.
you're trying to say?
Are we
Okay.
gonna discuss any other options, or is it just removing?
Well, like
I'm
you
just
said,
making sure that we're
yeah.
clear.
They are given comparative novels, is that what you said, that are similar to the, not the context of the story itself, but
In this
the tools that
situation,
they're trying to teach.
in this situation, anybody that had a concern was provided an alternate assignment, alternate novel.
I don't even
Is
want that
Is that
because,
what you were asking?
no, in the curriculum itself, with the study sync where you can choose excerpts.
You can't,
Maybe I
it doesn't
missed
have it doesn't have the space for them to choose the excerpts, because those are preset in there, but as far as the extension pieces, there are the novel studies. My understanding, just knew this last year, so I'm still learning too, is that there are 2 or 3 choices per unit. So we had a study sync trainer come out last February, and they told us that if, at the middle school level, if we teach all 4 units, there's 6 units in the curriculum, if we teach all 4 units, then we'll cover all of the Kansas standards. We can slow down and do some of the novel studies, which have been done on and off, and they haven't used all of the pieces, but they have some choice within that.
So we can choose not to do that piece.
Yes.
And still meet standards.
Yes.
So that's, I guess what I'm saying, we don't do that piece. Cause that's book out.
What's kind of concerning is this has been in the district and this is the first year it really came up. What happened to the past?
Well, yeah, I just, kids never
Well,
told
I
their
know, there
parents.
was one year, like my daughter's 8th grade year, it wasn't taught.
Anyway.
So we do have a motion and a second on the floor. I guess we can go for a vote. So the motion is to pull it out of our curriculum. Is that what we're hearing, right? Okay.
Yes.
I would ask for a roll call.
Okay.
Okay, Brandon Earl,
Yes.
Andrea Kreifels,
Yes.
Jason Newberry,
Yes.
Jessica Seeliger,
Yes.
Robert White,
No.
Jim Yates,
No.
Pat Zegum,
Yes.
5-2.
You know, I don't have a problem with it being in the library, because you choose,
Right.
you choose that, but have it.
Could I also, just recommend that, or, go with Adam's recommendation that we set up a review committee to make sure that the coming curriculum
I agree.
is morally sound?
Or we can make a point that our teachers know to do that, I mean, they're the ones that are gonna be.
Yeah, it's hard
Digging
when,
through it pretty
it's hard
good.
when we do a pilot because we don't have access to the full curriculum, which is one of the reasons why after they've tried this with PE and music, they wanted to have access to everything. Because you don't have access to all of the tools, we don't have access to every single piece of pacing yet, like we just don't have all the access to everything yet. When we're looking at a pilot, so it is difficult. Obviously, in this situation, we have some choice within there, and so I would hope that as we adopt something new, we would look for places where we have some flexibility also.
Cause you just said this one has 6 units, and the representative said,
If we
as
use
long
the
as you
first
cover 4 of those,
Yep.
then you meet state standards, so, like, I would hope that.
Yeah, and the teacher said the pacing of the curriculum, that they've never got all the way through, just because there's so much that's jam-packed in there. But
All right. Next up, first action item, it's the only action item, policy update.
Yeah, so we brought this to you last month, as far as the substantial portion of the day. Language, our admin had the discussion about that needing to be different from the elementary level to the secondary level. And so the language is there presented. We brought this up last month and the board requested that we bring it back how we would recommend it be written. And so we would recommend action on that this evening so that it matches up with our attendance policies.
Anyone have any questions on that? I would entertain a motion.
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed say.
No.
Administrative reports.
Keep it clean.
Quiet crew tonight.
Parent teacher conference week.
Oh, God.
We don't wanna use up all of our brain power tonight, cause we have 2 more nights.
Board
How
member,
did everybody's flex days go? Friday was the flex day, right? I mean, you might as well start now, ask instead of wait till the whole year's over and.
Good, well,
Yeah.
all their great.
No problems, no complaints, no.
If they worked hard.
That's good.
okay, board member comments? Wanna start, Pat?
I got a whole list here, much time.
No,
Okay, these things all just came up tonight, right here. Do we have a policy committee anymore?
We have one. We had one that was approved in January. They haven't met in quite a while. But
Okay, but I mean, it's just you? Okay, I'm not on a committee, can I be on that committee? I mean,
I thought we were gonna get rid of committees.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I thought we weren't gonna do committees since
No
law
committees,
changed.
that's great, okay.
I mean, we have a negotiations team, but we've been handling that differently since it's a.
Okay, so right now, we don't have any committees, except
I
negotiation.
thought that's what we had discussed.
Yeah, I mean, I have.
missing it.
we haven't met. We haven't voted them out. We
I just
just
thought we
haven't
kinda
met.
decided we weren't gonna meet.
Technically, they expire in January, so.
Okay, I missed that.
Or maybe that's just my committee was like, well, we're done.
Okay, bullying, and I guess I'm asking you guys and all of us and, the policy, when you look at the district policy in the big book, all of the topics, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are all about what to do. I mean, all about like a description of hazing, what bullying is. It all talks about what bullying is or something connected to that. But there's nothing about what do we do if someone's being bullied. And I've just heard a lot of it. And so I was just wondering if maybe next month or in a couple months, we could just kind of get a report on what do we do when somebody's bullied? What steps do we take? What do our counselors do? That type of thing, just have an answer or something. Because we go to all these trauma-informed things, which I would think some of those kinds of kids are bullied, or something like that. I know we have a policy, but I don't, other than definitions, et cetera, I don't know what we do. I don't know what to tell somebody. So.
It seems like the high school has isn't there some kind of packet and it explains what bullying is and both the students involved have to sign off on it and wasn't that brought to us a year or two ago?
I was gonna say,
That
yeah.
you put together, I think
Yeah.
that's been a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Is it in the handbook, which I have not picked up yet that I asked for?
I think it's up there.
Okay, I think they probably did.
Yeah.
I looked last time, I didn't see it, but, so is it something that we still have, if Mr. Nance put it together a couple years ago, you think? Did you say parents have to sign it, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm, yeah,
That they
that's the
saw
way he
it?
presented it to us. It's a
Yeah.
trifold
Yeah.
little thing and,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know.
So, it's just, are we still using it?
Yeah. Yeah, where'd you find that out?
It is back in 2023,
Gee, that's good.
January 9th of 2023.
So, is it something that we're still using, I guess? How'd you get that so quick, I wonder? 2023?
Had a little QR code that you could scan if you wanted to report anything, and it was anonymous, and
Yeah, hanging around too, I think.
I
Okay,
think I've
those are all good
seen that
things. Those are all
hanging
good
up on
things that a way to report it, but I'm wanting to know, what do we do? What do the counselors do? How do we help that person? How do we check into it? That kind of thing. Am I making sense?
We go
You-
over that pamphlet with the kid and the parents and talk about next steps of if this continues to happen, you come in, we sit down, we meet with the social worker, counselor, whoever, and then consequences are in place if this continues.
Okay, and that's the kid that's doing the bullying.
Correct.
Okay. Do
Well, I mean, yeah, you interview the kid that's claiming to be bullied to get all the information and the parents, and you hear both sides.
And sometimes, I know
Assuming
sometimes,
it meets the criteria.
sometimes the bullying, people say they're being bullied and they're not.
Correct.
So,
So you interview
I
both
understand
sides
that.
and then you go through if you see it as a bullying situation, you have the parents come in and talk with the parents and the student that's doing the bullying, and I had them sign, both parents and kids sign the pamphlet, and then if it continues, then they come back in and then there's consequences in place after that. And then you have a social worker. We put a plan, it's kind of like a behavior plan,
Yeah, I was just thinking.
So this is what you're going to do or not do moving forward, and so you put a behavior plan essentially together for the
Okay.
student.
So the pamphlet thing is something that you use when there is a problem. It's
If it
not
has gotten to the extent of becoming a bullying,
Yeah.
meets the criteria
Yeah.
of bullying situation, yes.
Okay.
Then use the pamphlet. That's what we do. I think it's,
Well, I don't want to put me on the spot,
Consistent.
and just tell me what you do. I just, think about it and then just say it in a little bit. So is that what you do?
Yeah, I do something similar. Sometimes I'll show that pamphlet
You
just
guys can
because
wait, you don't have to talk about it now, I mean.
it does a good job of like explaining what bullying is, and sometimes a kid reads it and is like, well, they're not really doing that stuff, and then they can have a better conversation about what's really happening. And then other times, kids will read it and be like, oh no, I'm doing those things. So sometimes I show them that pamphlet before it gets, but yeah, when it is like when somebody says they're being bullied and there's evidence, then we have.
And since that word came around, I'm always kind of more the side that, oh yeah, that's just something we've always done, you just, but now you have to watch out. I'll just look up that pamphlet, thanks. Then if I have any more questions, I'll find out. Okay, wait a minute, I covered up my, what happened? You didn't want me talking, what did you? Oh, cheerleading. I just read this article about, this girl that's paralyzed forever and she didn't have a mat, and the only thing they say is that they have to have the lights on and one person. So I looked what Keisha's rules were, and you don't have to have a mat or anything. I was just maybe suggesting that when they do stunting and stuff, they do it with a mat. Do anybody know if they do?
Yeah, are you talking practice or?
Yeah, just in stunting, and mat in practice.
Yeah, so they got those Cali got new mats, and then we got donated the Cali mats, and so when they practice.
We did, but.
Yeah, when they practice, they're at the
This
middle
article is
school and
scary.
they roll them out and they use them for stunting, and then when basketball season's getting ready to start here at the middle school, we'll move them back over to the high school, and yeah, they use the mats. They're pretty nice.
And then, did we send out that letter to parents whose teacher's not certified? Like we did?
Yes.
We did? Yeah. Okay. Then, last month, FFA teacher came and was talking about wanting permission to go on that trip and for money and everything. And then she said that somebody was gonna have to wait with her till the tickets went on sale, and then they'd have to call Darcy to get a card. Remember that conversation, kind of?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just rambling, I know,
but I
but
think that's because she didn't have the limit, but I think they gave her the card, so she didn't have to do that.
well, and then I know before, I remember asking the auditor before about activity funds, and he said they audit activity funds just like they do the rest of the budget. It's kind of pick and pull things, and you don't look at every single line. You just pick and choose.
They sample.
Sample, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. The policy says, and I know it's a lot but that we're supposed to see the activity fund every month, the results of, and are they all kept up here, or does each school?
They send down a copy to us, but they don't send everything. They just send their bank reconciliation to us. But it doesn't always tie out, like ours always comes at the end of the month. Some of your elementaries is middle of the month. It's really strange. It depends on the bank that they're using too. It's not just, ours are always, through 1031 or whatever.
So is it like, in the olden days, they had like their own credit card from their account. Is that anymore? You have to go through.
They go through on their side, they don't run through me on their activity funds.
So we have a debit card and just a good old write check. So when they went to Walter's Pumpkin Patch or whatever, or we pay for the bus.
Okay, so that's what FFA does too.
FFA runs through the high school activity account.
And it's just, I was misunderstood. I thought everything had to come through here, and that's why sometimes they were late with payments and had to pay for things themselves. Has that ever happened to you guys, where you had to pay for something yourself and then get reimbursed from downtown?
Can't get reimbursed.
No, our auditor has sent out communication that they cannot be reimbursed. Reimbursements are not allowed.
Is the way we're doing it now kind of new for the last couple of years?
Not since I've been here, no. He's always said with no reimbursements. The only thing we reimburse is like fuel or meal receipts. Those are for reimbursables.
Okay, that's it.
Bob?
Mine will be fairly short. Teenagers, when they have a day off from school, they really don't like to be told to go do something. But I was damn sure proud of our high school kids that went out to the roundabout and stumped for the bond issue. I think that's great. America's under attack, but the people that is gonna make it survive is those kids. And so I just was so pleased to see that. And one girl's sign said, "Because it's home,"
That's really nice.
and that's
That's so true.
that got to me. So
My turn? Okay. It's that time of year when I like to let everyone know when all the fall concerts will be. Fisher's super busy with the play, so I haven't heard back when the band concerts are going to be. But here in a couple weeks on October 23rd, there will be a middle school, high school vocal music concert. The play is the week of November 21st through 23rd. I've talked to some of the kids participating in it, and they said it's gonna be hilarious and kind of interactive and fun. So mark your calendars for that. December 4th, Mrs. Alt is super excited. Our choir will be traveling to Cowley to perform in a Christmas program with other choirs. So that'll be in Arc City. That's gonna be really cool.
What grades is
And
that? What grades is that?
I know high school, I believe. I don't know with middle school, but I know for certain high school. And then middle school, high school Crusader Christmas, which is always fun, is December 12th. Market Day is tomorrow for the middle school,
Oh, it
and
is?
it's
That's
so much fun.
What about that?
It's gonna be middle school grown loofahs for sale. Everybody's getting a loofah for Christmas. So be sure to check that out. The last bond meeting is also this week. It's been a little frustrating because we have the same maybe 12 people show up at every one of them. But we're still getting, I was out on Saturday and I still had someone stop me and ask about the indoor swimming pool in the bond issue. And I said, no, that's not happening. Please come on Wednesday and you'll hear all about it. So I really encourage anyone that hasn't been to one of those to please come, ask your questions. Brandon and I started taking notes and have asked Russ to add some questions that have been asked in these meetings to the website. So those are also there. Please check them out. And then I think the last thing I wanted to mention was if anyone hasn't checked out the Nightcast from the new middle school digital arts class, it's great. The kids have been, you have not lived till you've watched 7th graders commentate an 8th grade football game. It is so good.
So how do you go to that? Kind of like Crusader Radio?
It's on, I believe it's called Nightcast Media on YouTube. They haven't been able to do,
I can send you the links to some of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
they're great.
We want to do an education spotlight with them coming
I've
in.
been,
But we're gonna do it in the second semester. He wants to kind of get his feet.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's been, it's a lot of fun. They have a podcast. Check it out. Crusader Radio's TikTok is impeccable.
You are famous.
Mr. B, thank you so much.
Oh, it's so good.
The tour of our Sigma school had me laughing for days. Clock it. I appreciate. I learned so much from you. Thank you.
I put a lot of trust in a bunch of kids I've only known a month and a half.
I know. Oh my
It worked out
gosh,
pretty
it's
well.
so great, and we
Okay, so how
need
do I
more
do that?
Mr. Williams on their TikTok page. It's great.
Oh,
Yeah, Mr.
that's
Williams is
also
good.
Yes,
That is
it's
also
so
very
good.
good.
So I
you just go
mean,
to YouTube and look at Crusader Radio? I'm not good
okay,
about
that
YouTube.
one is TikTok. I will.
TikTok.
I'll get you
You need
set
to
up on that one,
search
Pat.
Crusader Radio on
Yeah,
You'll do that.
it's
You'll help
great.
me with that.
So thank you guys.
She did.
We're creating relationships with these kids and making something memorable, and they're gonna remember this. I'm gonna remember this. So thank you. That's all.
I don't have anything. Just appreciate all the support at the bond with all the admin and all that being there. It's been great, and we appreciate all your backing on that too. So appreciate y'all. I don't have anything.
Good job to girls golf, girls tennis. High school's doing great too, football, so keep it up, guys, and that's it.
Okay, I have some more.
Don't forget Jim.
Well, we were talking about
Oh,
the
yeah, we're
TikTok.
about Jim too.
Yeah, don't forget old me.
Oh,
Pat's trying to cut you off, Jim.
Don't you know you're new, you're supposed to be
I'll be at
bachelor
the
on
bond meeting Wednesday, that's the date that I've assigned, I'll be back in town late tomorrow, so I will be there Wednesday. And also, Jessica's calendars, we were invited to Kennedy to hand out Halloween candy on the 31st at 2:00. So,
Only three of us can be there, so we need to decide
Don't
who
forget
that three is gonna be.
Oh, yes, that's, Andrea said only 3 people can be there, Jim.
You can be there as long as you're not discussing board issues.
So if we have like 10
Separate
people and
yourself
We can go to
Yeah.
different areas, right?
Yeah.
Just
Different
don't,
areas of the
yeah,
parking
just
lot.
don't talk
Hey,
about anything.
I'm just going for the candy, I'm taking the.
Hey, you're supposed to bring your own candy and hand it out.
No, they give you the candy.
No,
Oh,
no,
my
they have
God,
candy
No,
there.
at Kennedy, they give you the candy,
Yeah,
right,
special
Joel?
for you, Pat.
Yes.
It's both. We
I'll
give
bring
candy
some.
to people that wanna pass out, but we
can
take
take our own.
donations too, and if people bring their own candy, so could always use more candy, right?
Good kind.
Especially when there's no school the next day.
Since we were talking about TikTok that I don't know anything about and talking about you,
Me
at
either.
the homecoming assembly, it was really, they're all really good, but since Ellie came, she always talks to the crowd and she does a great job, talking to the kids. This year, at the end, our principal actually did a great job, connecting with the kids and talking to them, and it was really great to see both of them interacting with the students and stuff. Pat yourself on the back.
Okay, go ahead, take time, cool down.
Okay, and volleyball is number 10 in the league. And Elle's having her surgery Thursdays.
10 in the state.
I thought it was 4A.
4A, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said
Lynn did
you
my
said
own.
Lynn.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah. But they're doing really well.
It wasn't good.
We read it, we got you.
Okay.
All right. Guess we're on executive session for non-elected personnel for 25 minutes, to include Adam, Chad, and Darcy. We'll resume at 7:46. Get a motion? Got a motion? Got a second?
I second.
Got a second, all in favor say aye. All opposed say.
Are they the striped ones?
No, it's just
No.
that I have,
You're back.
Okay,
Red,
we are
black,
back in
and
open
yellow.
session. No action was taken. We're gonna go back to executive session for non-elected personnel for 15 minutes to include Adam Hatfield. We'll resume at 8:01. Need a motion?
So moved.
A motion, can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
You want me now?
Here, Good idea.
You know.
We did that one time.
Okay, we're back in open session, no action was taken. We're gonna go back in executive session for non-elected personnel for 10 minutes, include Chad. We'll resume at 8:11.
So moved.
A second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say
Aye.
Forgot about them.
Okay. Be hilarious to talk this about.
I can write it down if not.
We're back.
Okay, we're back in open session, no action was taken.
I think you need to call the KSB. She's not on call tonight.
Okay.
I think you need to
We're
call
back.
the KSB.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna go back into executive session for non-elected personnel.
Legal
No,
matters.
legal
Okay.
matters.
Sorry, we're going back, we're going to exec session for legal matters to include Chad, Lori for 15 minutes. We'll resume at 8.
So it may not be Lori, it
Yeah,
would be
I would say just.
on call with
try to-
KASB.
Okay. So we'll go into executive session for legal matters, with KASB, Chad, for 15 minutes,
It's 15 enough.
Better make it 20.
or 20 minutes. So it'll be 8:31.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
I would just call the KSB legal.
Does anybody have a
Yeah,
charger, a phone charger somewhere?
We just looked that up. I
Mine's
take it.
about to die, so I don't even know.
I have 20.
open for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
You're back. Okay, we're back in open session. No action was taken. We're gonna go back into executive session for negotiations, include Adam, Chad, and Darcy for 25 minutes. We'll resume at 8:56.
I'll move.
Got a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
Got a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
guys ever bake steak? You know, it doesn't look pretty.
Okay, we're back, in open session, no action was taken. We're gonna go back into executive session to include Adam, Chad, and Darcy for negotiations for 10 minutes. We'll resume at 9:06. I get a motion.
Second.
Yes, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
The band
I
is
think they're real
small.
good,
Mhm.
but considering how small they are.
Okay, we're back in open session, no action was taken. We're gonna move on to the consent agenda.
Okay, consent agenda. Approve the minutes of the September 8th R&R hearing, budget hearing, and regular meeting. Approve payroll and bills. Payroll, $1,157,076.45. Bills, $600,698.72. Personnel, approve new hires. Carrie Isaacs, critical needs para at Washington. Charles Hutchinson, custodian at Lincoln. Sydney Levine, para at Kennedy. Brandon Starkey, 8th grade assistant football coach at the middle school. Jaron Lloyd, assistant cheer coach at the high school. And Lauren Hart, financial secretary at the middle school. Approve resignations. Michaela Elmore, at-risk aide at Washington. Brett Clark, ISS at the middle school. Melissa Black, critical needs para at the middle school. And Jackie Latimer, financial secretary at the middle school. Approve transfers and position changes. Jordan Swagger, para at Kennedy to critical needs para at Kennedy. And Kendra Weichel, para at Kennedy to ISS teacher at the middle school. Approve annual contract with USD 619 for 2025-26.
Need a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Got a motion, I got a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same?
Aye.
Alright,
Do we need to approve things that we discussed earlier?
Oh, we should have added that to consent.
I don't think you can.
not yet.
So do we have to add that to next month now?
Be the easiest cleanest way to do it.
Oh,
Meeting is adjourned, thank you.
Since we have too many executive sessions.
Killed my battery.
Um.
I bet.